Hey, what's up guys? Lindsey here. I've got Ice Cream Man number 3 in this comic. I don't know, but what I can tell you is if you're any sort of creative person, it's probably going to give you like a little bit of an existential crisis, and that's just like this series is so weird. Like the first issue was like conventional horror, and the second issue was about the dangers of addiction, and this is like it's just, I don't even know what to say. Okay, let's just look at this cover. Got this guy who, he's supposed to look like Elvis. He's an Elvis type. And when I see Elvis, it makes me think of Bubba Hotep. And Bubba Hotep makes me think of Bruce Campbell. Bruce Campbell, great actor. I just watched like Ash vs. Evil Dead on Netflix, and that, if you like Evil Dead and you're unsure about the show, let me tell you, as a complete stranger with nothing to gain from it, watch that shit, dog. Okay, so let's get into it. We're seeing this. Oh, this one is called Good Old Fashioned Vanilla. See, I like the little subtitles here. All right. So we see this. It's like 1950s, and it's this band. This guy used to, only have one chin. I know it's hard to look at somebody and be like, they've always had at least like 2-3 chins, right? But no, the majority of people, they start off with one. And stuff happens along the way. So this is his like claim to fame, is this song about rockin'. Rock in the morning, rock around noon, rock in the evening, rock it to the moon. So keep those hips a-swaying, cause it ain't no crime. When they ask you when you rock, just tell them, rock all the time. Now, okay, I like metal and stuff. I actually went to a show on Tuesday in Nashville. Humble brag. Saw Leprous, saw The Deer Hunter, which was like the shining moment for me. I've never seen them live, loved it. And my favorite band was headlining Between the Buried and Me. So I'm sort of in that area, but it's not exactly the same, because metal people, they aren't like, yeah, rock, whoa. But I feel like people who are like, dude, I just want to fucking rock, bro. I just want to rock. I feel like anyone's goal, this is different because it's like 1950s rock, which is like the least amount of rock. Anyone who's like, I just want to rock, man, or dude, that rocks. I don't know why, but people who want to rock are scumbags and they smell bad. I don't know why it is. Prove me wrong, they all have chain wallets. I don't know why it is, but if someone's like, dude, you want to rock? I'd be like, no. I don't want to do that at all. But that's just what made me realize, like, dude, that's rockin'. It's just like the least rockin' thing you could say. Ugh. So it goes to this, which is like in the 1950s. So I'll be real, like, there's not a black DJ. Maybe it's one of those things where there was a black DJ and this is referencing something, but I don't know. But he's got some good, like, radio lines. I always, like, make fun of radio voice and stuff. But listen to this, his dialogue. For a record 40th week in a row, Bud Hickey and his Rockets sit high atop the charts with their slithering, thumping, posterior, pumping anthem, rock all the time. Now, when I picture posterior pumping, I don't think, it's not wholesome. It is not wholesome. It's like, oh, look, he's what's his name? Bud Hickey, he's changing the world. Now, boys, they're not afraid to point at girls as they walk by. Because the boys are slicking their dues, greasing back their tresses, and the girls, they're hiking up their dresses. Whoa. Changing it. So he's like an Elvis type, telling kids to rock, and rockin' leads to fucking. Am I right? And then I just want to show this panel. It's the DJ. The gosh golly gospel. Good old rock and roll. And that's fine. That's a fine thing for him to say. But look at his arm. He straight up looks like, this is regular, right? This, and then when I do this, it looks like he has like a nub or like a lobster claw, but a lobster claw attached to a baby arm. No, you know what? He's got arms for radio. Fucking got him. So we cut to today, and of course he's being sad in a diner, because if you have a one-hit wonder, or you are a one-hit wonder, you just hang out in diners and be sad and have teenagers be like, yo, that's that guy. Had a song 60 years ago. He's had more songs than you fucking teeny boppers. I actually do say teeny boppers in real life. And I know it's an odd thing for me to say, but I say it ironically, but it has become part of my vocabulary, so it's a mess. So our boy Bud, he's lamenting about it. And the ice cream man, who is our connective tissue, and everything takes place in this town, but he's like the real connective tissue of it, apart from the geographical stuff. And he asks him, who's the father of rock and roll? That's simple. Elvis, the king. And he's like, ha! That's what everyone says. Elvis gets all the credit, which, I mean, he was banned on TV for shaking his hips. That's all the credit I need. But he says he learned a bunch of different languages, well, how to say rock all the time in a bunch of different languages. He mentions Portuguese. And our boy the ice cream man says, Voy comer a pele de sus filhos, which I know a lot of Spanish, so I know he was talking about eating something. But I translated it, it says, I'm going to eat your children's skin. Which, I'm going to come at that a couple ways. Number one, kid's been sunburned real bad. He just eats all the flakes. He's just like, that's a littering issue. That's a DNA littering issue. And he just goes up to your kid's face and he just eats it. It's like paper. He just likes eating it. Or he's boiling the kids and he skins them with like a potato peeler. Or he just de-skins them. Or just skins them. And eats the skin of the kids live. Go a lot of ways with it. But then this is where he gets into like, oh, how's this horror? Or scary. This shit right here. What if I only had one good thing in me? And that's it. Oh my god, don't bring that kind of shit up, dog. I draw. I'm reading a lot of books right now on how to write a comic, so I'm like making an effort, to do something. And there are things I've drawn that, I pictured in my head, and I'm able to replicate it, and it's very pleasing to me when that happens. So there are certain things I've drawn that are perfect to me. And that's what I'm always trying to do, is just do a thing that's perfect to me, perfect to me. That's like the base of it, and then appeal to other people or whatever. But that is just like, what if I only had one good thing in me? That's the struggle of being a creative anything, or just even regular people. It's like, what if I only accomplish this one thing and nothing else? It's like, that hits me in my soul, dog. Why? Why even bring it up? Come on. So, of course, Ice Cream Man, it's, what, I feel like giving someone ice cream is hard to do, make it nefarious, but I'm just saying, tilt that hat back on your head, dude, because you're terrifying people out here. So, he goes home, and it has this sort of narration of the special thing, whatever it is, slowly begins to lose its luster to the light suck of time and the brightness of other, newer special things made by other people. It's like, oh Jesus, I gotta worry about me doing things good creatively or interesting, but then it's like everybody's in competition with each other, and there's all these people who they get better sooner than I get better, and it's just like, ugh, you're just constantly getting replaced, right? And it's just like, oh, don't make me think about that. Don't make me think about that shit, dog. Go back to people who are doing heroin in the other issue, because I can laugh at that, because I'll never do heroin. Lindsey Parks, I'll never do heroin. 2018, if I do heroin, somebody out there hit me up and tell me, like, yo, dog, you fucked up. And it's just this dialogue about how you can try, but it may never be anything. And then other people are going to try and they're going to succeed. And it's just, God. Your special thing is but one of many. In fact, it isn't special at all. It's just a flash in the pan, man. A fleeting blip on the big, silly, cosmic screen. Blippity, blippity, blip. And then he starts hearing music down in the basement. He goes down in the basement, he opens the door, and then we get into this. What? Look at this complete color change transition here. It's like dark basement. sort of reflecting the dialogue of like, hey, nothing matters, and you'll always be awful at whatever you want to do. That right there is more of a Lindsey Parks 2018 quote right there. Dark colors, dark themes, and then we get this, which is like, the only way I know how to describe it is bubblegum. It just all looks like bubblegum. And it's just so weird. It was so unexpected. It's just like, what the hell? It's this bubblegum type of thing. And we see an astronaut, and we see a woman on a motorcycle, and he says his name is Major Tom to Ground Control. That's a David Bowie reference. Whatever, and he's defeating, like, they look like gum monsters or ice cream monsters or something. And so they're shooting everyone, and then he sees a ship shooting everyone. Shooting, like, at the gum monsters, and then there's a ship that looks like the Yellow Submarine. Of course, that's a Beatles reference. And he gets in there, he gets into the Yellow Submarine ship, and you find out that all these people in it are trying to stop somebody called the Hitmaker. And we get all these references here. Captain Jack, Eleanor Rigby, Ziggy Stardust, of course that's a David Bowie reference. Rocky Raccoon, had to look that up. Never heard of that, apparently it's a song. And then, of course, the David Bowie song, Major Tom. I think these are Beatles references. Like, I can't get into that type of music. Like, when I started learning how to play bass, very into the Beatles, because those songs are real easy to play. I just can't with classic rock. I just cannot. I grew up listening to it too much, so it's just like, it's my kryptonite, man. And so, he learns that they've brought him here to stop a person named the Hitmaker, and they give him this. The Hendrix Blaster. Wow, that was like a dope voice I did, man. Thank you. Thank you very much. Lindsey, great job. Clap, 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 clap. But it's this weird looking guitar, and it's a melody gun with room in the chamber for only one more song, which this is like, I don't know, it's like surreal but too on the nose as well. It's like, okay, Bud has not written a song in like 50, 60 years. Now he's fighting a monster, and the only way to defeat it is with a song, but it's a melody gun guitar with, you can only put one song in the chamber. Your next big hit. So then they take him to this, which is Conehead's, like, hideout, which is, I mean, talk about narcissistic. And it's just, like, people shooting at each other, and then it's revealed that Major Tom is the ice cream man, and then he's like, rock all the time. So he didn't even really come up with a new song. Also, just look at that panel. And then he wakes up and he finds out he's still in the diner. Or then there's like a page that's like, or did it really happen? It's just like, what? Actually, I kind of like that facial expression. I just don't know with this. It just started off strong about like the price of creativity, or the struggle of creativity, the existential crisis, getting older, these things, and then it turns in like to bubblegum land, and I just don't know. I think I'm gonna put this on my pull list, because it's just like, how much weirder can it get? How much weirder can this shit get?